just finished our first week at our new jobs. We both got jobs at the same time.
Same day. Started on Monday.
And it all happened while we were full-time RVing in Texas.
During a natural disaster.
That's right. So how did this happen? Here's the story. So we were planning on doing this full-time RV trial run and explore different parts of Texas. About the same time we were getting ready to leave, 2 different companies reached out to me at the same time. I was not looking for a job.
Yeah.
I was happy in my position. I'd only been there for 8 months, but they reached out to me.
Nobody reached out to me.
No one reached out to you. Because I know React Native, and people really like React Native.
I have more experience than she does.
He has 2 years of experience.
I've been doing this longer.
Yeah, but
yeah, React Native is hot.
It's hot right now. Yep. So 2 different companies reached out to me about a React Native opportunity, and because they were offering enough to tempt me.
Right, they actually gave price ranges, which most companies don't do.
Right, because other recruiters.
You would have said you would have declined.
Yeah, because ever since I got my first job, different recruiters and places have reached out to me, and one of the first things I ask them is what's the price range? Because if it's the same or obviously less than what I'm making now, I'm not even gonna bother. In this case, both companies gave me a range. It was a nice range, so I decided to just pursue that.
And then when we're in Texas, so you're starting to interview while we're doing the RV thing, so you're interviewing on the road.
Yep.
And then someone else reaches out to you.
Who is an awesome guy that I met 2 years ago at a meetup before this whole pandemic when I was still learning to code. It was a React meetup, and he was the speaker there. I approached him afterwards, had a good conversation, and here, almost 2 years later, he's just starting at this startup. They're looking for React developers, and I happen to know a really good React developer who might be interested.
I mean, I've pursued a few things you brought up in the past, in terms of job leads, but for the most part, I hate applying for jobs. I hate the whole interview process. All this work and pain and humiliation for... He
still has PTSD from the first time that he applied for jobs.
For chance of, getting rejected.
But
anyways, yeah, so when Martha, she referred me, had an interview with him, and it was amazing. He was a super chill guy. Sounded like a cool company. Car Putty. It's called Car Putty.
Car Putty.
Our company's called Starship.
Starship.
Which is a much cooler name.
During this whole process, we actually went to Boca Chica and went to SpaceX.
Yeah, where they're building a Starship.
Saw a Starship.
Completely unrelated company, but it was very fun. We were down there in the very bottom south part of Texas, right on the coast.
And this, of course, is when it was really cold. Freezes a bunch of pipes, knocks out the power.
We thought we'd be fine because we had a generator, we have Wi-Fi, through cell data.
Yeah.
But the cell towers were down. So we woke up in the morning and we both had interviews that day. I was going to interview with the actual hiring manager. This was a big deal.
I think I was going to talk to the CEO or something of my company.
So where we were,
big interviews.
They're on the coast of this RV park, no internet, no power, no water. So we got all the kids in the car and drove 30 minutes into town.
I at least wanted to get some kind of signal so I could at least email them and tell them we had to reschedule.
Yeah, but the traffic lights were out. They were the sewage was flooding the streets, and we finally found one bar. And I think it was just enough to send an email. It took 10 minutes to send one email.
Yep.
You sent it in there canceling the meeting.
But then for your interview, we actually did find a Burger King
that
had power and had Wi-Fi.
We had a little more time with that one. So I went in there with my laptop. I had the interview. I mean, it was loud. It was crazy. I was apologizing. I was I know I'm at a Burger King.
We're in the middle of a natural disaster, but I made it to the interview.
Right, so how could you not hire me after that, right?
So we're interviewing at the same time, and we both get offer letters on the same day.
While we're sitting in this parking lot near this river in the middle of nowhere, slowly running out of gas as our generator's running, all the gas stations were out of gas. Yeah. As everything slowly
Everything's falling apart.
Everything's falling apart.
And we're getting offer letters. Long story short, we did escape from Texas. Then we finished up our last 2 weeks at our old jobs, and we started on the same day.
We were trying to avoid starting on the same day, just because wondering how that would work, with the kids.
We figured, you know what the heck?
Well,
why don't we try it?
you were with your parents too, right? So you were
Yeah,
helping
I
the
was with
kids.
my parents.
That was
Nat,
nice.
Nat went to Atlanta the first couple
Yeah,
days.
because we actually
at
have an
least.
office. She's fully remote, but we have an office where
Mm-hmm.
it's still mostly remote, but you can come in if you want. So I was able to meet some people in person.
It's been over a year since you've gone to
Yeah.
the office, hasn't
Yeah.
it? So what's that like?
I like it.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's nice.
Nice seeing people and just the being able to interact, and especially starting off with a company. Like one of my coworkers, he said he got a job during the pandemic and then ended up quitting joining this company like
Mm-hmm.
6-7 months later without ever having met any of the people he was working with. He said it was so surreal. Of course, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, and that's something I've really loved about my new job. Is
Yeah.
I actually have meetings at this company. My other company did not have meetings. It's been amazing being able to actually talk to people and have social interaction in that way.
So anyways, that's the story. In the middle of disaster and trying to survive and stay warm, we got 2 great new jobs. And it's just a great reminder. If you're open, like putting yourself out there on the internet, if you're going to meetups,
Yep.
things like this will happen. It's basically a matter of time.
And that's part of the reason why you pursued this, is because you were also doing a positivity challenge.
Yeah, I didn't have an excuse because I had to assume that it was going to work out. I had to assume it was going to be a good experience, and it was, and it turned into an amazing job. So.
Yeah. Awesome.